Colleen deactivated her Instagram on January 21st. Blake Lively manipulated her audiences and lied to her audiences.
Colleen Hoover just obliterated Blake Lively on Instagram live. And trust me, nobody saw this coming. Yeah, the same Colleen Hoover who used to sing Blake's praises, calling her kind and honest, has now scrubbed her entire Instagram of anything related to her. Every last trace of the It Ends With Us star, gone. Hoover didn't just unfollow. She hit the full-on digital erase button like she was deleting a bad chapter from one of her novels. And let's be real, who can actually keep up with the non-stop chaos Blake and her Hollywood-perfect husband Ryan Reynolds keep throwing at the world? It's one headline after another with those two. At first, it was subtle. Hoover, who's known for her wholesome Instagram posts and down-to-earth vibe, suddenly went silent. No sweet messages, no cute book updates, nothing. And then, the legal drama between Blake and Justin Bald exploded. And that's when everything changed. The first red flag? Colleen Hoover straight up deactivated her Instagram. No warning, no explanation. And when she came back, the second red flag was impossible to ignore. Every single photo of Blake Lively, gone. Wiped clean like they never even existed. Hoover didn't just walk away from the drama, she ran in the opposite direction. And honestly, good for her. Blake's over-the-top diva behavior and perfectly timed PR stunts might fly in Hollywood. But Colleen? She's got books to write and a reputation to protect. Apparently, Hoover had enough of being dragged into the never-ending circus that is Blake Lively's life. Legal battles, creative clashes, and Blake allegedly twisting the story to fit her own narrative? Yeah, Hoover clearly decided this wasn't the inspiring journey she signed up for. And fans definitely noticed something interesting. While she's keeping her distance from Blake, she's still following Justin Bald on Instagram. Coincidence? Or a not-so-subtle way of making it crystal clear where her loyalty lies? Either way, the message is loud and undeniable. Hoover is done with Blake's Queen of Chaos routine. But how did we even get here? Let's rewind to where it all began. Colleen Hoover, Justin Bald, and Blake Lively. 3 names at the center of one of Hollywood's most explosive controversies in years. With It Ends With Us, Hoover's record-breaking bestseller, set to hit the big screen, this project had all the makings of a massive success. No doubt about it. Or so we thought. Fans were hyped. A powerhouse cast, a director known for tugging at heartstrings, and an author whose books have millions in a chokehold. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything. It all started on a high note. Colleen Hoover made the bold move to bring It Ends With Us to the big screen, not just as another love story, but as a gut-wrenching tale of heartbreak, survival, and resilience. Readers were obsessed. Hollywood took notice. And before long, the project was full steam ahead. Hoover put her trust in Justin Baldoni, the guy behind 5 Feet Apart, known for crafting emotional, tear-jerking films. Plus, his reputation as a nice guy who preaches love and kindness, it made him the perfect choice to lead the charge. Hoover couldn't have been happier. She even sent glowing emails, gushing about how confident she was in his ability to do justice to her most personal story. Everything seemed picture perfect. Then, enter Blake Lively. When she was cast as Lily, fans lost it in the best way. Her ability to balance strength with vulnerability, it felt like she was Lily. With Hoover's gripping story, Baldoni's vision, and Blake's star power, this movie had instant classic written all over it. But behind the scenes, it was a completely different story. The trouble started bubbling up fast. Creative clashes, tense set moments, and before long, the whispers of behind-the-scenes drama were spreading like wildfire. Blake Lively wasn't just there to act. She was calling shots. Word from the set? She wasn't content sticking to her lines. She had strong opinions about how the movie should be made. Lively didn't just suggest changes, she took over. Sources claim she wasn't afraid to challenge Justin Baldoni's vision, even pushing her own ideas onto the project. Some called it passion, others straight-up control. And let's be real, that's the right word to describe her in this situation. But just when you thought the drama had peaked, Ryan Reynolds enters the chat. Blake's husband, famous for his quick wit, sarcasm, and Deadpool stardom, reportedly got his hands on the script. Depending on who you ask, this was either a sweet show of support or a classic case of too many cooks in the kitchen. As filming dragged on, the tensions skyrocketed. Baldoni, who started as the confident leader of the project, now found himself navigating Lively's iron grip and Reynolds' script rewrites. What was supposed to be a dream collaboration quickly turned into a behind-the-scenes power struggle. Instead of an exciting adaptation of a beloved novel, It Ends With Us was spiraling into a mess of creative clashes, oversized egos, and endless rewrites. And the worst part? This was only the beginning. The chaos wasn't staying behind closed doors. It was about to blow up in public. Then came the bombshell that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Blake Lively filed a legal complaint against her co-star and co-director, Justin Baldoni. And the accusations? Staggering. Lively claimed that Baldoni had sexually harassed her during the film's production, detailing incidents that ranged from unwelcome advances to deeply uncomfortable conversations about explicit personal topics. But that wasn't all. She also alleged that intimate scenes were mishandled, with professional boundaries being completely ignored. But here's the real question. Was there more to this than what met the eye? Because the allegations didn't stop there. Lively went a step further, accusing Baldoni of launching a full-blown smear campaign against her. She claimed he had hired a PR crisis team to twist the media narrative in his favor while dragging her name through the mud. According to her, this included planting damaging rumors online, fueling toxic debates across social media, and even coordinating negative press to wreck her reputation. For many, this was beyond shocking. Baldoni had built a carefully crafted public image, one that painted him as a champion of modern masculinity and feminism. He had written books, delivered speeches, and made a name for himself as the good guy in Hollywood. And now, that image was cracking under the weight of these allegations. The lawsuit set off a full-blown media storm, but things hit another level when Justin Baldoni fired back with a countersuit. He accused Blake Lively of defamation, claiming her allegations were nothing more than a calculated attempt to destroy his career. And in his version of events, she was the real drama queen, desperate for attention in every possible way. As this legal battle spiraled, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't just a scandal. The chaos that had been brewing behind the scenes during production was a warning sign of the disaster that was now exploding in public. And then, there was Ryan Reynolds. Some called his involvement supportive. Others, a massive red flag. Reports claim Reynolds took it upon himself to rework parts of the script. Yes, Deadpool himself was apparently swooping in to tweak dialogue and alter character arcs. And according to insiders, this wasn't about improving the film, it was about control. Because nothing screams cinematic masterpiece like a superhero-turned-screenwriter stepping in to fine-tune a romance drama. But just when you thought things couldn't get messier, the plot thickened. Whispers from the set painted a very different picture of Blake Lively's role in the film, one that went far beyond just acting. Multiple insiders claimed her iron grip on the production turned her into the unofficial director, leaving Justin Baldoni, supposedly the co-director, reduced to little more than a background extra on his own set. Lively allegedly called every shot, from camera angles to wardrobe choices, vetoing ideas left and right with the kind of confidence only a Gossip Girl alum with decades of Hollywood experience could pull off. And the internet ate it up. Rumors swirled that she had directorial ambitions long before stepping on set, creating instant tension with Baldoni, who was struggling to maintain authority while she ran the show like her personal empire. And that was just the beginning. On-set disagreements over key scenes only cranked up the chaos, turning the production into a behind-the-scenes soap opera, way juicier than the actual film. While the lawsuits were dominating headlines, Colleen Hoover made a move nobody saw coming. Despite her past support for Baldoni and appreciation for his work, she couldn't ignore how the film's promotion had played out. And just like that, she wiped everything, gone. Every photo from the movie premiere, every post about working with Baldoni, even her heartfelt message calling Lively honest, kind, and supportive had vanished. It was like Hoover wanted to erase any trace of her connection to both of them. Fans were stunned. Colleen Hoover had wiped every trace of both Baldoni and Lively from her Instagram. No premiere photos, no posts about the film, not even her once gushing message calling Lively honest, kind, and supportive. It was as if she wanted to erase any connection to them entirely. But why? Was this Hoover's way of staying neutral? Or was she making a calculated move to secure her future in Hollywood? At first glance, it looked like she was just trying to distance herself from the mess. But her silence? Deafening. She had previously praised Lively for her patience and kindness. But as the legal battle exploded, Hoover kept completely quiet. And that wasn't all. Despite the serious allegations against Baldoni, she never publicly cut ties with him. By scrubbing both Lively and Baldoni from her social media, Hoover sent a clear message to the industry. She wasn't picking sides. Some called it a smart move to protect her career. Others? They called it cowardice. Fans accused her of choosing Hollywood over loyalty, and soon, whispers of her being a sellout spread like wildfire. One thing's for sure, the "It Ends With Us" drama isn't just about two Hollywood stars clashing. It's a domino effect, threatening to take down everything in its path, including Colleen Hoover's reputation. So was this a power move? A desperate attempt to survive the fallout? And more importantly, is this just the beginning of an even messier saga? The stakes in this Hollywood war couldn't be higher. Justin Baldoni isn't just fighting for his name. He's suing for a staggering $400 million in damages. That number alone proves just how massive this fallout really is. His lawsuit paints the picture of a director whose career has been obliterated. His talent agency, WME, didn't waste any time. They dropped him the moment the allegations surfaced. And as if that wasn't enough, Baldoni also turned his sights on Colleen Hoover, accusing her of blindly siding with Lively without ever hearing his side of the story. This wasn't just about reputation anymore. It was survival. But Hoover's support for Lively? It didn't last. As the lawsuits exploded and the media frenzy reached new heights, Hoover made a move no one saw coming. She vanished from Instagram. For weeks, her account was completely deactivated. No posts, no updates, nothing. Fans were left scrambling for answers. Why did she suddenly disappear when things were at their peak? And when she finally returned, the changes were impossible to ignore. Hoover's Instagram wasn't just cleaned up, it was wiped. Every trace of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Gone. No premiere photos, no behind-the-scenes moments, no glowing praise for either of them. It was as if she had completely erased them from her narrative. And of course, the internet noticed. Fans and critics immediately began dissecting her every move. Was this just a desperate attempt to protect her future in Hollywood? A calculated effort to stay neutral? Some saw it as a genius strategy, a way to escape the crossfire. Others, they called it cowardice, a betrayal of the very people she once championed. But for many, one thing stood out. This wasn't just neutrality. It felt like a rejection of Lively. By deleting every post tied to the actress, Hoover appeared to be siding with Baldoni, at least in the public's eyes. And that belief only grew stronger when fans realized something interesting. Despite her Instagram purge, Hoover had kept her ties with Baldoni intact. The two had a long-standing professional relationship long before the film, and her decision to maintain that connection only added fuel to the theory that, in the end, she had chosen Baldoni over Lively. Now let's talk about Colleen Hoover and Justin Baldoni, the duo that's become as divisive as pineapple on pizza in this whole mess. Their friendship? It goes way back, long before Baldoni was ever attached to It Ends With Us as both director and lead. And here's where things get interesting. Emails between Hoover and Baldoni, revealed during the legal battle, painted a very clear picture. Hoover trusted him completely. She gushed about his passion, his vision, even calling him the right person to bring her book to life. She specifically pointed to his work on 5 Feet Apart as proof that he had the storytelling skills to do it justice. But then, things got murky. At first, Hoover publicly supported Blake Lively when she made her allegations. But since then, her actions have told a very different story. By scrubbing both Lively and Baldoni from her Instagram and refusing to take a definitive stance, she's managed to keep herself looking neutral. At least, that's how it appears on the surface. Behind the scenes, though, her ongoing friendship with Baldoni has definitely raised some eyebrows. So, is Hoover secretly backing Baldoni while keeping her public image spotless? It's hard to say for sure, but fans have definitely noticed. So what does all this chaos mean for Colleen Hoover's legacy? Let's be real, this saga has all the makings of a Hollywood versus Hoover biopic. We've got a best-selling author who skyrocketed to fame, an A-list cast that should have guaranteed a blockbuster, and a behind-the-scenes disaster that's completely overshadowed the very story Hoover set out to tell. The big question now? Will her carefully calculated neutrality solidify her as a savvy, drama-free professional, or leave her stuck in the middle of a mess that permanently stains her career? Let's talk reputation. Colleen Hoover built an empire on raw, emotional storytelling, winning over millions. But now, when fans hear her name, do they still think of those heart-wrenching novels? Or do they picture the Instagram purge and her silent erasure of Blake Lively? Scrubbing her account of both Lively and Baldoni was supposed to send a message of neutrality. But for some, it reeked of betrayal. To many, it felt like a scene straight out of a thriller. Clean up the evidence, vanish from the narrative. But here's the twist. Her strategy might actually work. Hollywood loves a comeback, and by staying out of the mudslinging, Hoover might just be securing her future. By refusing to take a side, she avoids burning bridges with either of her powerful allies, Baldoni, who, despite the controversy, is still a Hollywood player, and Lively, who remains a fan favorite even as the legal chaos rages on. Now, let's talk about the fallout from the Lively versus Baldoni legal war, because this battle isn't just a Hollywood feud anymore. It's a storm that could wreck Colleen Hoover's entire lineup of upcoming projects. We're talking Verity with Anne Hathaway, Regretting You, Reminders of Him, and more. These adaptations depend on Hoover staying clear of the controversy. But if Hollywood starts seeing her as too risky to work with, that's a nightmare for any author dreaming of bringing their stories to the big screen. And here's the real kicker. By staying neutral, Hoover might not be saving herself at all. Critics are already calling her silence dangerous. Some say it makes her look complicit in Baldoni's alleged misconduct. Others see it as disloyalty to Lively, the very woman she once publicly praised. Fans are left asking, did Hoover sacrifice her values to keep Hollywood happy? At the end of the day, it's all about survival. Hoover may not have destroyed Blake Lively in the traditional sense, but she erased her from the narrative in a way that speaks volumes. So, is she just another player trying to keep her head above water in Hollywood's cutthroat game? Or is this just another plot twist in an even messier saga? Let us know what you think in the comments! And don't forget, hit like, subscribe, and share for the latest updates on the Justin versus Lively drama. See you next time.